we're ready to get started. So we said probably the most important gland, the pituitary, on account of it's got two sides, the adrenal hypophysis, the neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis, okay? So in that name, which one sends hormones through the bloodstream? The front portion, the anterior side, or the posterior side? And it would be in the name, because the neurohypophysis means it's stimulating glands to secrete not through the circulatory system, but rather what? Say that again. Did you say neurons? Well, that's right, through the nervous system. I mean, you're just saying the functional unit of it, okay? So with that, if it is not composed of cholesterol, if it's composed of proteins, amino acids, all of those, is that a steroid or a non-steroid? If it's not of cholesterol. It's a non-steroid, because what is an example of a steroid hormone, for instance? That's one. Estrogen. Testosterone, that's two. There's norepinephrine, but that's not as common as the other one that starts with an E. Epinephrine. And the reason we kind of call that a common name, okay, a scientific name, the common name would be adrenaline, because where is that adrenaline coming from? A specific gland sits above the kidneys. Yeah, your adrenal glands. That's right. Okay, so with that in mind, then, like for that first problem on that problem quiz, okay, or we could say if we needed to name the simplest acid, okay, one carbon, okay, is methanoic acid. That is the scientific name. It also has a common name called formic acid. So kind of with the same idea, epinephrine and adrenaline would be kind of like a scientific and a common name. Is this where we have left off then? Or are we past? This one. Okay. So when we classify this as a glucocorticoid, it's telling you what it affects, okay? We call this the stress hormone, okay? Because one of the things that we'll say when I see some of you students walking up and down the hallway, your head is down, and I'll say, what are you doing, counting the tiles? And maybe yes, maybe no. But one of the things that we're actually asking, okay, maybe it's just not a good day. That's only for you to answer. But on the unfortunate side of that, maybe this is being secreted a little too much, okay? So if this inhibits this process, which it does, inhibits the process of protein synthesis, okay? That means you are not breaking down energy as quickly and efficiently as you perhaps should. So this is just a lot of specific scientific information, but what happens is if you are not burning your quick sources of energy like sugars, okay, well then your metabolism just isn't going to be where it should. Then you are burning this, which is a good source if you're exercising. Yes, that's true. But how many people are perhaps experiencing portions of depression when they're exercising? I wouldn't think so. You people exercise perhaps for a reason. Is it one of them things to where maybe you grab them weights and you take your frustrations out on them? It's a good stress reliever, and maybe some of you partake in that. Maybe yes, maybe no, because if we go up to the weight room before school, are some of you possibly up there? That's a good way to have or vent some of maybe life's challenges. That's certainly something I would suggest that you do and continue on after you leave high school, to kind of keep this to a minimum. Okay? Now, you might be asking, well, if the body stimulates that, well, what's it there for? Well, I don't have an answer for that. But if not having energy and kind of not feeling your normal self is because of this, what might be a different way to turn that around, so to speak, or endorphins, that's the word I'm looking for. Does anyone know endorphins means what? Does anybody know? They do. That's exactly what they do. Okay? So there's different ways of boosting your mood. One is the one we just talked about. Okay? Something that you do as a stress reliever and something you feel good about an accomplishment you just made. Okay? And one of the best ones is perhaps that of you women. I don't know if it's all women. You women are guilty of this. Okay? And we're just going to stereotype that. You women are guilty of this. It's something that comes in a wrap. Okay? And say that again. Comes from Pennsylvania. Okay? Chocolate. Okay, now be honest. Who would not like chocolate? I don't see any hands going up. So then, one. No, well, I was just seeing if we're paying attention. Okay. So then, those of you who do enjoy that, there's some biochemical reaction that takes place in our brains that, yes, we like this chocolate. You could say it's endorphins. That's one way. And if I remember correct, it's what we call dopamine. Okay? And that dopamine that gets released is a feel-good hormone classified as endorphins. When you go back to that cliff jumper with the parachutes, people do that because they like to experience those highs that they go through because they're releasing endorphins. Who are roller coaster people in here? Anybody? If you have the opportunity, but do you have to go to a bigger city to experience that? Kansas City, maybe? Almost, I don't think. Okay, up in the Twin Cities, okay? So some people choose to go on those types of rides on account of it releases that dopamine and gives them that endorphin-like feeling. Okay, which counteracts that, okay? And from time to time, we would watch Home Improvement from time to time, The Big Bang Theory from time to time. And it's something that we laugh at, right? Laughing is a good way to release some of that dopamine and makes us feel good. Okay. We wanted to get to this, and some of you were asking this question yesterday, and it's a valid question. What are these? I said, well, I think I said liver. I should have said pancreas instead. Okay? So these are specific cells that produce these. And again, these are hormones. Okay? And would you be led to believe, are these steroid or non-steroid? They're non-steroids. That's right. Okay? So when we're controlling these sugars, okay, we want you to think, oh my God, making us think. we'll just go in order. Glucagon. If your pancreas from those alpha cells is releasing that glucagon, what is possibly happening? Are you trying to use up sugar, or do you need more? Got a 50-50 chance. Yes, you need more sugar because glucagon will break up what polysaccharide? Not glucose, because that's a monosaccharide. It breaks up glycogen, and it breaks up all of those units of glycogen into glucose units, therefore raising your blood sugar levels because you have more glucose in the blood. Okay? So on the opposite end, beta cells then will secrete insulin, and that will lower your blood sugar levels one of two ways. One of them was to take all those individual units of glucose and link them up together into a chain of glycogen. Just the opposite of what this one is, to break them down. And if it doesn't cause it to form a polysaccharide, it just says, cells, do your thing. Burn this sugar up so we don't have it building up in the form of glycogen. Okay. So then, I don't even know if we've got, yeah, we do have one left. And then finally, just like what we had said, as blood sugar levels drop to reindeer on the roof or something? Please tell me you noticed that too. This was bobbing. Okay, well, we're going to go back to the videotape, but someone must be up on the ceiling. So, well, maybe. Well, this can't be Rudolph because his nose isn't red. Okay, so as blood sugar level drops, glucagon is secreted, converting glycogen to glucose. Goes up, just the opposite than what insulin does. All right. That does it for this chapter. That does it for this semester, okay? And that's something that we'll be talking about in the near future, okay? So, is there anything else before we shut this off? Okay, all right. So we will be in contact, and later next week see how the rest of the semester will unfold. There's one thing I've noticed, you know, these presentations are a lot shorter than first hour. Did you notice that? Yeah. Okay. Maybe because certain people just don't shut up first hour. I know that guy. I don't think he would do that. We'll catch up to you next time.